Here's what you have to know about OneDrive. It gets its tentacles involved in all kinds of different working parts of the computer, and I'm starting to realize how difficult it is to do without it. And so you're kind of like the guinea pig as far as this goes. Only because I had resisted OneDrive for a long time, but then after I started realizing what its benefits were, I've tried to start getting my customers kind of mixed into it. However, I also noticed on the flip side that if you do not want to do anything with OneDrive, then ultimately what you should do, you should like never sign into it like from the get-go. That's what I'm starting to see.
I wish we would have never gone down that path. It's caused so many problems for me. And I thought I did real well. I had, the split screen where they snapped, and then I copied it, and I realized that it copies it in a weird image. And then I looked up, and sure enough, it was OneDrive. So I can't seem to get into my old pictures that you copied over onto, my computer that I've had here for years, but now, for whatever reason, they're in OneDrive. So,
well, you're still going to have content in OneDrive, even though you've removed it from the computer. The account is still exists in the cloud, but you just don't want it to be syncing with your computer with your local stuff. So, yeah, we'll have to schedule and spend some time on that, getting your computer to behave more local than having to rely on OneDrive so much.
Because I didn't mind. I mean, it was going to take a long time to copy my pictures over, but I realized most of them were in just a few files.
Yeah.
So I was one for my home, one for travel, so I opened those up. And then I realized when I looked at the path that they were, no matter how, they were all on OneDrive. So, any rate, the process was not bad. I mean, it's going to take me a long time, but, I figured it out. But OneDrive's still there. So, any rate,
yeah.
So let's grab a time, and let's look at my schedule here.
Okay.
So, what looks good for you?
I can do. How about tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. would work?
Okay. I have somebody here at noon, but we should do fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah. At least kind of get it started.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll probably spend a solid half an hour on getting that right again.
Yeah. And so you'll be here?
We can do this remotely.
Okay, great.
Remote is fine.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
That was a customer of mine. She's been a customer a very, very long time. Her name is Susie, and the interesting thing about what she's encountering these couple of days, she has me on retainer, so she only pays one flat rate per month, and I help her unlimited amount of time. So time is not a problem for her. However, she seems to be in this, I'm going to say this OneDrive vortex, where it's like this black hole of once you go in, you can never fully come out. I mean, you can have parts of you that come out of OneDrive, but there's always going to be some left behind thing that's still linked with OneDrive and so much. So it's like, it's to the point now, if you're using OneDrive, you have to either be fully enveloped in OneDrive or not at all, okay? Because there's no halvesy. You're either using OneDrive or you're not. Now, if you want to use OneDrive, go ahead and sign in. It's gonna start changing the way your whole computer and file systems operate. But if you don't want to use OneDrive, do not sign your computer into it outside of the website. The website is fine, but don't download the application, the OneDrive application, and sign into it. The moment you do that, your computer is forever changed, at least on that installation. Okay? Because you can't just uninstall the application, because there's still other things that have been affected while it was installed. I mean, it is like completely intrusive, but it can be helpful. So you gotta figure out what it is for yourself. Okay? That's the best advice about me and OneDrive.